Impossible? Ha! Watch me. That word is not in my vocabulary. Welcome to my mentality, where I will show you freedom, recognition, for every athlete, every woman, for my team, for me. Say my name because I am the best at what I do. The All-American, the Olympian. My craft is my free expression, where I compete to win. I stand for racial equality, gender equality, income equality, as a guaranteed, tangible reality. Welcome to where I play, where I am free.
Night number 3 of week 2 from Dallas begins with a late afternoon tilt. Team Valentin Anderson against Team Stivrins. Both teams coming in at 1-on-1 and off of wins last night. If you want to stay on top of the leaderboard, you must rule Saturday nights. Welcome inside once again, everybody. Kevin Barnett now joined by former professional Katie Carter. Played in the league last year, so welcome to the party.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
An exciting opportunity for us to celebrate Women's History Month today. We have special shirts for that. We'll get more into that as the match goes on. But it's perfect that we have number 55 right there on our shirts because Ali Bastianelli, part of what became a forced trade because of an injury, so she joins a new team.
That's right, and I spoke with Ali before the match, and she just explained it as, after last night's match, Captain Natalia Valentin Anderson came up to me and just said, hey, you're the one that's chosen to be traded, basically, and she said, I'm fine with it. I love Team Purple. She's hit off Alicia Childress before, last week, so she's excited going into it for sure.
All right, so Ali Bastianelli will keep all of her points from the previous matches. She'll earn more tonight on the leaderboard, and this will look at our top 5. There's some good competition going on 3 through 5. Remember, those top 4 are going to sit in the captain's chairs, and even if you go a few seats further, there's lots that can still change tonight with some sweeps or some poor performances. We will see what happens. We talked about Ali off the court. How about Ali on the court? She's a force.
Ali, she's always been just such a big offensive threat, as you see here, as well as a defensive powerhouse. And we're going to see her do that a lot more tonight. She likes to hang and block. She has great lateral movement, like you'll see here. And she's just such a great defensive, offensive player. It's really exciting to see her. And can see here how she makes another lateral step. And I love how she hangs and just swats back that tip from Betty De La Cruz.
Actually leading in blocks, and the player that replaced her in last night's match came in and made a difference for her side, Taylor Sambothi.
And Taylor Sambothi, I had the opportunity to play with her and against her last season, and man, she's a crazy girl, but in such a good way. She's everywhere on the court. She's there, she's next to you to close the block. She's up, she runs that backside great. You can see her just rocking out. Great player.
As we celebrate Women's History Month, appropriate that we would have an articulate, thoughtful leader in Cassidy Lickman. On her speech, look what we built about this league and the experience.
The thought that keeps running through my head is just, look at this thing we built.
I think when I made the speech, look at this thing we built for the first time at the end of the volleyball season, I wasn't thinking beyond that. It was just the emotions of the moment and how I felt as we came to the end of that first season, which was a historic moment for us and for the organization. And so that's all I was speaking to at the time, but it felt like such a meaningful moment for me, for the sport of volleyball, for AU, that the words came really easily. And so to see that it's resonated with people, that it's been watched more broadly now, that it resonates across sports. Every time I see it, it still brings me back to that moment. It makes me excited for the next moment and everything that we continue to keep building.
Look at this thing we built.
Athletes Unlimited Volleyball is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. The building of this league and this brand continues tonight inside Fair Park Coliseum. The final day of competition in week 2. We have 3 more after this before we crown our second ever individual champion inside of volleyball. And how do we do that? Well, there are 3 different ways to score points for you as an individual. 60% comes from your team's success. It's impossible to win the leaderboard without team success, then your individual stats are 36%. There's plus as the negatives there. Then the MVP voting on top of that. Teams are on the floor. Valentin Anderson in blue. Stivrins in purple without their leader. It was Lauren Stivrins who went down last night, necessitating the trade, and we are underway. Cass Lickman trying to issue an ace to start it. It is saved by Stalzer, who had hard impact on the barriers. Outside Edmond, soft one to begin.
I love that way to start the match there with Leah Edmond.
For Team Stivrins, Veronica Stone has been good. Cass Lickman broke out offensively last night.
You know, Cass Lickman, we're not used to seeing that from Cass. You know, she can do everything. She can set, she can run an offense. Great offensively too, but to see her have a breakout offensive match is really cool to see.
And speaking of breakout offensive matches, there was Fallon Fanoia-Moana. As we look at the lineup for Team Valentin Anderson, Stalzer, Sabelden, Lowe, team players that are together quite a bit. Sabelden, we're still waiting for the best version of her to come back.
That's right, and I think we're going to see it. I've seen a little bit of heat coming from her in terms of, you know, she's an oven, she's preheating it, she's getting ready to cook something. I see it in her eyes. We've seen it a little bit last match, and last season she really was a leader, and I experienced that. She's a threat.
Lee Edmond with a couple of quick kills. She has been perhaps the best outside hitter overall, certainly offensively, outside of Bethania de la Cruz, who we're used to seeing, and we'll see in match number 2. It's Cass Lickman back to serve. Picks up an ace there. So she nearly had one to start. She gets one there. 4-0 beginning for Team Stivrins.
And nothing like the little trickler to start off the match, and Cass is all finesse. That's the name of her game. So you're seeing that back here when she's at the service line with her jump float. Places it very well, and just her game all around. As you watch her throughout the match, you'll notice.
Look at Hentz flying in there. Morgan Hentz, horizontal, constantly diving for balls. How about Stalzer off the back row? She had an exciting start last night as well, tailed off just a little bit as we went along in the match. Let's welcome our third member, Olympian Key Michael in the Key Cam on the move.
Hi guys, I'm going to start giving you guys players to watch, and this week, in honor of Women's History Month, I chose Cassie Lickman. She came out of retirement to play for this league. She's overcome so much physical difficulty to get to where she is, and she's also the first current player to be on the board of directors of a sports league. So impressive. She knows her worth, and she's already started us off with a 4-0 lead, so watch Cass. Watch this space.
There's a dig right on point, as Key told you. Trying to turn that into a point. Right side, and Cass with another dig off of Lowe. The lines. Lickman has 3 digs in this rotation by itself in this rally as that net violation goes against Childress. Now, with the injuries, Childress called on to start again tonight. This is maybe a shock to the body. Back-to-back evenings.
Exactly, and you know, I keep thinking when I've been watching these matches is Childress has 3 children, and the youngest is 8 months old. So I'm just thinking that as a mother myself, and thinking, oh my gosh, having those 3 children here with her, and not to mention an 8-month-old baby, and then she's running everywhere around the court right now on the floor. I know 8 months post-pregnancy, I was definitely not diving on any volleyball courts.
Yeah, I mean, what did you do last year with Noelia? It's a joke compared to Alicia this year.
Literally, like, what was I thinking? I mean, I should have just, 3 months post-baby been right out here. Who am I kidding?
Natalia Valentin Anderson, the captain. Looks like she might remain on the leaderboard. Team success tonight would be key for that. Stuffed by Lowe. Karsta Lowe, who was captain last week. And she is in the running to end up. That's the funny thing. You have a good week as a team, you split everybody up.
Yep, there you go. And Lowe, you can see here, she really sets the block, so well. You can see her outside hand just angled in, and that's the key to getting those hard-driven hits from hitters like Leah Edmond to land in your court.
4-4, backslide again. Another block! This time it's the other side with Valines. And Madison Valines has had a really nice beginning to her professional time here at AU. Veteran of overseas play as well.
And it's been great to see her just climb the leaderboard as well. And I really like her all-around game. You know, she's one of those, you know, a lot of players that are, you know, outside hitters but played in college and maybe came out with not so much of a all-around game. She really is one of those players that's just spectacular all around.
Touch on that swing there. And right now, do we get a captain's challenge? Yes, we do, from Natalia Valentin Anderson. Oh, no, they're going to wave it off. Liana Sibelden saying, no, I touched that thing. And that's an important part of the challenge thing internationally and here as well. You have to be honest with your side. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's the finger, the index finger definitely got that.
Another ace serve. Valentin Anderson has given up 2 aces, and we are only 11 points in.
Pretty difficult way to start a match if you're not able to run your offense, if you're not able to pass the ball, and for that matter, pass it well so that you can run your offense. Valentin Anderson could be getting a little bit frustrated right now as a captain.
Ace and then an error. Here comes a hybrid serve from the one-time Kansas star, adding the lines. Played in Italy and A1, and then in Turkey. Little chisel off the outside hand that time. That's the worst feeling as a blocker.
That is, and you know the worst thing is that as it's happening, you know what's going to happen. You know, you're like, I know what's about to happen, and I know that there's nothing I can do because I'm mid-air right now. Can I just press pause and land and pull my hands down?
You need a remote control like Adam Sandler or something. Back set, and the frustration continues for Liana Sibelden. That'll be 4 contacts.
And there's that Ali Bastinelli just block that we mentioned at the start of the match. She's just, her hands are so good. She presses over. I would imagine that her eye work is really good. And when we say eye work, that means what she's looking at ball and then the setter and then the ball again and then the hitter. And that's really difficult to do as a blocker.
Another ace serve, 3 of them in this first set now for Stivrins from 3 different servers. This time it's Alicia Childress who issues the ace. Alicia, who had 5 sets played and not an entirety of 5 sets coming into this weekend. Now she's in her 2nd straight match. As Val Nickel took a ball directly on the nose at one point on Wednesday night. Tough shot still alive, but not returned. I really like the heat on the outside with this particular team. When they can pass, they can really hurt you in the pin.
And, you know, I think a lot that has to do with that is the captain. I think Natalia Valentin Anderson, you can see how she gets that ball quickly out to Stalzer. Stalzer is a little bit of an undersized outside hitter. She utilizes that fast set by beating the block and swinging fast.
Nice block combination there. Sambothi alongside Lowe. Some help on the right.
And that's always kind of a little pat on your back if your car's still low, like, oh, look, I helped the middle. That's great. You want, you know, it's difficult for those pin blockers, in this case, Stalzer and Lowe, to help with the middle because you're worried about your hitter, but then you got to try to throw a hand in here or there to try to help the middle out.
The line's aggressive swing, and it pays off out of the back row. I mentioned in the open the involuntary trade in the middle. Per rule 4.11, all teams with a surplus must identify a player available for trade. The team in need of a player then makes a selection from that available pool. Now, the result might have been different, actually, before last night's match. Taylor Sambothi came in and played exceptionally well as that ball was killed by Lowe. And she came in for Ali Bastinelli. So all of a sudden, Ali became the available player and was taken by Team Stivrins.
Right, and Team Stivrins could have chosen an available player from any other team, correct?
Everyone had to make someone available, right? There were 3 players in the pool.
Right.
They chose blocking leader Ali Bastinelli.
Great choice, if you ask me.
Yeah, she's leading the league defensively at the net.
Not a bad choice.
And you see she stays up there as Hentz tracks that one down. This will be a free ball. Really have to capitalize here for Valentin Anderson. Stalzer, yes, sharp angle.
And it looks like, you know, we're seeing that again with Stalzer, Valentin Anderson combo, where she gets that ball out. It's got some height on it, but it is fast. So Stalzer's able to get up there and swing fast enough where, you know, Fenoy Moyana and Bastianelli, they were there, but their hands weren't quite formed yet to get a solid block up.
Nice reach back from Sambothi there. Fenoy Moyana thrown through, and they're ready for that. That's on the scouting report now, and Bastianelli just misses. Saw Fallon get a number of kills last night, throwing the ball through the block. And Fallon was firing. She comes up 14 spots on the leaderboard on the strength of 15 kills, 7 digs and an ace hit, 433. She's now at 12th in the championship chase. As Taylor Bruns-Tegenruth checks in, this has been a good rotation with her at the service line. Did a lot of damage last night in their victory against Team Drews, 70-66. With Taylor Bruns-Tegenruth at the service. And right away, timeout called by Team Stivrins. Let's hear more about celebrating Women's History Month here this evening inside Fair Park.
Women are so amazing. We can do anything. And it's not just who you are as an athlete, but like who you are outside of the court. And I think once people know the story, because we are so much more than athletes.
There have been so many incredible players whose shoulders that we stand on, but also women outside of volleyball. And so I think we want to recognize that women have had a place in all spaces in history.
I think it's a really beautiful thing that as a female athlete, as a professional female athlete, there is so much ground to be broken in our field. And we want to offer what you didn't have to the next generation.
Athletes Unlimited's 2022 campaign, Power in My Voice, dovetails wonderfully with celebrating Women's History Month. We're trying to highlight women who have blazed new trails, use their voices on behalf of those given less space in the world, and been civic leaders.
That's right, and you know, I think it's something to be said about the women that are here playing for Athletes Unlimited, that were part of the season, the inaugural season last year, and then now this season. You know, it says a lot about the influence that you have as an athlete to be playing in the only professional volleyball league in your country. So I think just that in itself is creating history and being an inspiration, hopefully, to many, you know, young women around the country and around the world. Yeah, to utilize the platform you have, civic leadership has been a key tenet of Athletes Unlimited all along, not just right now in this month or right now in this moment. Exactly. Well, one way to be a leader on your team is to do it from the service line in a volleyball context. For every ace during this year's Athletes Unlimited volleyball season, Aspiration is planting 10 trees. We've already planted 30 more just from one side tonight. We came in with 870 trees already been committed thanks to Aspiration's support. That's either a large grove or a small forest, depending upon your view. Do you live in an urban scenario or do you live in a more rural scenario? What do you think, grove or forest? I'm thinking, like, can we have a new national park somewhere that that was maybe burned down? I know of a few in Colorado where I'm from that could use some trees. Right, Aspiration and Aces Park. Yes, yeah. Park. Powered by Athletes Unlimited players. Leaders in Aces this year so far. Stivrins up there, Drews, who we'll see later tonight. And I'll tell you, might climb in there is Sambothi. She came out firing, finished tied for second last year in total aces on the year. All right, a little 6-0 run for Team Valentin Anderson. They've had a couple of runs here this weekend. Power on the right side this time from Edmonds. Let's take a look at our Geico leaderboard, ever changing as the points are put into the system live. It's so interesting to see the players that are just on the cusp of, you know, fourth, fifth, sixth, and they kind of move up and down, and it's really exciting that we're in day 3 of week 2, and we're going to see that final top 4, our captains for next week. We'll know at the end of tonight. How much did that ever factor in, the captain's chairs, or who was coming up in terms of when the match was going on? Did you guys think about the scoring system much? Did you think about it? Oh, definitely not. Actually, I remember just like showing up for preseason for Athletes Unlimited, and everyone's talking about like, what do we do? Should we think about it? Should we practice right now and say to each other that was plus 12 or minus 8 or whatever? And after about 3 days of that, everyone said, you know what? Forget it. Like, we actually need to do the basics of volleyball first.
Yeah.
And then let's see when game time starts.
We've had enough. We can't ever get enough Deja McClendon. So she is joining us now with the chair chat. And Deja, you're back in the same role tonight. You're the outside observer waiting to come in and contribute. What are you keying on watching this match?
Yeah, right now I'm watching and trying to see what Purple is doing to adjust after watching our game last night. I think we are already picking up tips better than we were, and just seeing where the gaps are so I can, yes, Lynn, so I can give some tips to my hitters.
And Deja, I love your cheering from the sidelines. I watched that before too, from home actually. And is the excitement different just kind of this year compared to last year all around? I mean, when you're in the game, when you're not playing, how's the excitement different?
Well, first off, Katie, we miss you out there. And yes, the excitement is 10 times higher with fans in the stands, and just having that extra element of the production. I think we've all missed it, right? And I'm so happy to be here, especially with my family watching tonight.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. And I remember that last year of just, oh man, if we just had fans. Can we perform for somebody, please?
Yes, great pass.
So the McClendons are here.
They are. Mom and Dad are here, and my Aunt Val, they're in the stands.
Is there a game night coming up?
We were actually going to play Catan tonight.
Yes. Yes, I love it. Noted game players, the McClendons. I love that. Thank you, Deja.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Deja.
All right, Deja McClendon is going to get back to watching what Purple is doing. And that's a big part of the weekend, trying to figure out what your opponent is doing in a pretty short time frame. We talk a lot about integrating yourselves, but you also have to watch your opponent.
That's right. And, you know, at that point, it really is up to the individual players, because depending on who your captain is, they may say, hey, you know, let's just go and play our game. We don't know much, and let's do this and that. But it's up to those individual players to kind of take it upon themselves and remember, oh, hey, I played with that girl last week.
Right.
This is her tendency. Hey, everybody, let's do this. So that's something last season everybody did, just, oh, yeah, I know her from before, you know, in a different professional league we played in, or just I was on her team. So that's what I think as we get into weeks 3, 4, and 5, you see it gets more difficult for the big hitters, for those big pin hitters that we're watching now, you know, Carcelo, Pinoy Moyana, because people start to pick up on their tendencies, talk about it, and it gets harder and harder to score.
Stalzer, tough serve, soaked up by Lickman, who swings to the outside and goes inside Sambothi. Thank our official partner Geico for their support of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball here in Fair Park. Kevin Barnett alongside Katie Carter. Key Michael, the key cam, is wandering about. Both teams serving tough. Hence, splits. Shot to the outside. No, that's nice. 1.5 there on the outside that time.
That's right. You saw Alicia Childress just kind of, you know, raise her hand like, yep, that's my bad. And you can see here the lines. Wow, what a great dig by Hentz, first of all. I mean, look at that scoop. If there's a definition of a scoop and a picture you can put with it, I think that's the one.
Yeah, you look up Morgan Hentz, all they have is a picture of a shovel.
Exactly.
That's all that's there.
Yeah.
We're back around to Cass Lickman here as Taylor Sambothi goes off, having used her head earlier effectively. Cassie Lickman tagged her with one, but Sambothi transitioned it. Another tough pass for the women in blue. But a side out from their cannon, Carstelo, who's looking like she will probably sit in the captain's chair again. Coming in, she's in 3rd place, but probably has enough points to stay there. But possibilities abound, really. You could have Erin Fairs become captain for the first time if her team has a great night. Last year, she was 39th in points at the end out of 45 players, and now she might sit in the captain's chair in year 2.
I couldn't be more happy for her, because I was right there with her last year, and we would have so many conversations about that aspect of the league and just how hard it is mentally to just come back and perform, and for her to come back this season. It's going to be great to see later tonight.
Yeah, what Deja McClendon's going through right now, captain last week, bench player this week.
Right, and you know, it really depends, like you said before, Kevin. If your team is winning, that's number one. Then after that, okay, you've got the individual performance, but you know, it really matters the players that are around you. You know, you hear people talk about, hey, if you're surrounded with great players, you're going to perform great. And I think, you know, if you're in a team where, you know, you've got a bunch of younger, inexperienced players around you, or vice versa, you're on a team where there's so much experience, you know, that can really reflect on your individual play. So there's a lot of factors that's not in the player's hands that can be frustrating.
Here's low on the left. Here goes Statue of Liberty. Oh, Fallon was there. No one's there for the second contact, as Fallon laid it all out.
And I think Karsa was a little bit early to that set from Valentin Anderson, but she saw the open spot and said, I'm going to test this out, and successful. Good campfire tip right there.
Like a good campfire reference. Always appreciate that.
I went to UCLA, so we said campfire. I've heard a lot of donuts talked about in food. I'm going to bring back like shovels and campfires and stuff like that.
Excellent. We're all outdoors. The Colorado UCLA connection there.
Naturally.
It's actually, those items are on my my Subaru label, you know, the logo that's been replaced. There's a rip. Yeah, Edmond is blocked, but just out of bounds. Key, have you gotten an invite for Catan tonight or yet, or what?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, Kevin. What was that?
Did you get an invite for Catan yet tonight with the McClendons?
Oh, apparently you're playing Catan tonight, and you haven't invited me yet.
Oh, I love Catan.
I wouldn't be very good. But Deja's parents are here with me, and I'm so excited that you guys are here because I'm a huge fan of Deja. And she has been such an integral part of Athletes Unlimited last season and this season. How excited are you guys to see her play again?
Very excited. I know she's played all over the world, but just to come here to be on U.S. soil in our backyard is fantastic. And it's a great thing that Athletes Unlimited has done to invest in women in professional sports, and not only in professional sports, but the whole platform. So being able to talk about your passion and giving back, I think is excellent.
And have you guys had a chance to speak to her about her experience within the team, sort of like with the players, and has she given you feedback on what it is like compared to, let's say, playing in Poland or playing overseas?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, last year was a tough year because of COVID, but we were able to watch and see the first year of Athletes Unlimited unfold, and we learned a lot. You know, she talked about how important it was to share her voice, especially with, you know, her condition that she was going through, and her support group with, you know, girls, I guess Ball Girls Do Lunch, you know, which was fantastic. But yeah, I mean, just be able to get back on the court and play in front of your fans is something she's always wanted to do. And being on the road by yourself, as you know, on the professional side of volleyball is really tough because you're kind of alone other than your teammates. But to share it with family is what it's all about, and this is fantastic.
I love it's so true. Truer words were never spoken. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being on the broadcast. I'm so happy you're here in person.
Awesome.
All right.
Love it. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Bye-bye.
All right, Key Michael, you better work on your Settlers game. Better figure it out. They figured it out here. There was a challenge. Ball was confirmed to be out of bounds off the block. Team Stivrins, a little work to do late in set number one.
And I like both teams right now are in a 3-hitter rotation, so both teams have 3 front row attackers available, and both actually, you know, having the Fenoi Moyana and the Low available right now, it's a perfect matchup because 2 heavy hitters. We're going to see the ball go a lot to those 2 players right now, you know, in a tough moment when they need a point.
Service game being won by Team Stivrins and Alicia Childress. Already 4 aces, Childress with 2 of them. But they still trail by 1. That one going deep corner. Valentin's trying to fight it off. Low. Speaking of fighting off the ball, puts it in the deep corner.
And I love the swings with the grunt, and that's what she did. And man, she definitely needed it on that. That was a great fast swing. Looks like she almost went over the block that time in that deep corner.
It is a lefties world here. A couple players have ruled it. Carstelo, no surprise there. And Danny Drew is a late add to the league, already a top offensive threat. Here's another lefty from the service line. Taking roots. That ball's chipped long. Good idea, missed execution. Now, Carstelo and Danny Drew is the only two players to be in double figures in every match this year in terms of kills.
And it's Karsta had an outstanding season last season, so it's as expected, right?
Right.
She, with all of her experience and all her, her accolades and everything. But for Danny Drews to show up and come out with a bang, and she is so much fun to watch. She's so smiley and springy, and it's really cool to see her kind of match the Carstelo and say, hey, I'm gonna bang too, man. I can do this. I'm here to win.
Smiley and springy, I like it. Billy Mao serves that one, but Karsta puts it away once again. Carstelo, originally out of UCLA.
Go Bruins.
Yep, was a walk-on there, and then Pac-12 Player of the Year, and then an Olympian and a bronze medalist with Team USA, back to being a professional player full-time after joining the working world for a while, working to promote the upcoming Olympic Games in the United States. She nearly issues an ace there. Sambothi, pass and swing.
And I love how she holds the finish.
Like gooseneck?
Yep, exactly. So I love that Sambothi. That's her character coming out right there. But really, what a great, perfect pass, get right up, and just really the high snap over the block. And great spot. That's kind of a no-man's zone in that deep corner behind the libero. The libero's looking for that straight down kill or maybe some short little tips, but that deep corner over the head, untouchable.
She went full sock puppet there.
And that's Sambothi, and that's why we love her. That's why we love her. The entertainment aspect.
Every athlete here plays for a cause, a non-profit cause that they choose, and play their season in part for the benefit of that cause. The Give Lively Foundation makes a grant equal to 50% of the athlete's end-of-season bonus to that non-profit partner. Let's hear from the athletes about their partners, who and why.
The cause I chose to play for is Black Girls Code. I love that they are inspiring young women of color to get more involved in STEM and tech. I really want to help eliminate, barriers and create more opportunities for these kids and women in a field that they normally wouldn't have an opportunity to, grow and build on. I have Black women in my family that are involved in tech and in the tech world. And I want more young girls to be able to see women that look like them in those spaces and to have more diversity. And I really think that visibility and accessibility is super important for future generations.
How was the athlete cause experience for you last year, Katie? You can learn more about it at auprosports.com, but tell me about it.
Yeah, so the cause that I chose to play for was And Mother.
Yeah.
And it's a great cause. I mean, it's basically allowing, supporting athlete mothers and basically any professional mother in the workplace to continue to do their profession while, maybe being away from the field or the court or the office or wherever. And that's just something that at the moment really hit home for me, and I've never been asked to support a nonprofit in my life before, so that was naturally the one that I picked.
Hey, there's Noelia.
Oh my gosh. And she's a little baby there. She's like she's almost driving a car at this point. And she's full toddler mode and making life so fun and so tiring right now.
Is she still stealing things from people?
She's kind of a little klepto, and I'll find things in purses and pockets and, random places. So, but no, lots of fun. And I love being able to just be with her and just kind of soak up every moment. I can go on all match about her if you want.
Kevin Barnett alongside Katie Carter, who played in this league last year and has played all across the world as a professional athlete. What was it like for you to come home last year?
Wow, it was actually a dream come true. It was very unexpected, but just so cool to take advantage of that and it's something that we've always talked about but never thought would actually happen, because, actually my family would always just say, why hasn't anyone done this? What's going on there? And sure enough, before I hang up those volleyball shoes to retire, I got one in. So very grateful to be a part of Athletes Unlimited.
Hence with a stab, keeps it alive. Huge important point for Team Stivrins. And they get it. We are over 20. We'll play to 25, win by 2 for 3 sets. If we're tied on the aggregate score, the addition of all 3 of those set scores. At the end of 3, we'll play a golden set that came oh so close last night. And then it faded away. It was stolen from us. Eventually that will happen. Ali Bastianelli, who just joined Team Stivrins, back to serve. Critical moment. Valentin gets the stuff. That ball's poked back over. Calais Mao with the kick. Oh, play of the match thus far. Sambothi pass and backslide. Good again. Sambothi 2 for 2 when she passes. Just let her do it all.
One of those players that she's just better when she passes. She's in rhythm. And hey, Calais Mao, how about this soccer? Calais actually was a soccer player, a very good soccer player. I played with Calais in France. The amount of balls she kicks, it's like nothing for her. It's not phasing her. It's a normal occurrence for her.
Yeah, Dad Steve told us last night, said, hey, she's a terrific soccer player.
Terrific. She wanted to play soccer in college, I believe, but volleyball just ended up, she was really good at it, got a scholarship and so on, but she still says she goes out and plays soccer when she can.
Props to Dad.
Yep.
Set point here. Hence with another dig. Too many purple jerseys in one spot there. Fanoimwana, full steam and out of bounds. They fight it off, but not without a whole bunch of oxygen used. 24-22, still with 2 to go. Fanoimwana to the service line.
And man, Fallon does bring so much heat that if you're blocking her, you really want to make sure that your hand position is facing inside the court. Like we saw there, she hit the ball with a lot of steam, but it ended up being a block out. So those blockers need to make sure that they're really technical when they block her if they want that block to land in the court.
Just continue from your Friday night straight into your Saturday night fire. Taylor Sambothi caps set number 1. 25-22.
And Sambothi, she's also the type of player, if she's successful at something, she's going to keep doing. And Natalia Valentin Anderson, she knows that about her. So she's going to keep feeding Sambothi.
4 for 7 in the first set for Sambothi. More importantly, her team victorious, 25-22. We will continue our celebration of Women's History Month right after this break.
There is a path that leads to a community where everyone is welcome, where respect, teamwork, and passion pave the way. A path where greatness is born and legends are made. But wherever your path may lead you, it is yours.
We created an entire women's wall where 7 or 8 of us chose women that are important to us as female athletes, or even just as females.
I always loved Marie Curie. Marie Curie is a scientist back when women were not allowed to do that. whatsoever, and she made some phenomenal discoveries.
Juanita Craft actually had a huge role in allowing Black people in general to be able to participate in the state fair in Texas. And we're playing at their park. So it's literally a direct line to me being able to compete in this arena. And it literally gives me chills. And I feel like I'm making so many people, my people, proud.
Patsy Mink, who was the first woman of color in Congress and also authored the bill that we now know as Title IX. And so without Patsy, none of us are playing here today. So I think it's important to recognize women's history, but also that history is what allows us to do what we're doing in the present.
A chance for these women to connect with history and create a future. Women's History Month being celebrated in a variety of ways, including with these special edition shirts. That's Taiba Hanif Park, 3-time Olympian, multiple-time Olympic medalist. Shirt was designed by Katie Fisher, who wanted to celebrate the unique talents and abilities of women from all backgrounds by highlighting 4 of our athletes with the hoops that anyone can wear, with the hopes anyone can wear the tee and be inspired to be unlimited. And Allie is wearing Allie.
And that's women's history just all in itself. She's on a T-shirt. She's going to keep that T-shirt. Amazing to see. Amazing to see. You know, what I loved to see is Cass Lickman's choice, Patsy Mink. And what's interesting about that is Patsy Mink helped to write Title IX. And this year we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Title IX. So it's kind of a special connection there. You know, celebrating women's history all year, celebrating Title IX, which is a lot to do with equality for women. So,
yeah, interesting talking to my mom, who was a wannabe athlete back in an era when that really wasn't a thing.
Which, imagine that, you know, and I try to imagine living in a world like that, you know, not only talking about sports and stuff like that, but just, I mean, the right to vote.
Right.
And it's things that, you know, a lot of people these days should maybe take a second to think about, hey man, we're so grateful, just, I mean, the country we live in too, that we have all these freedoms. So just, I love that Athletes Unlimited is taking the time to celebrate it, not just all month, all year, and really, you know, allowing those players to choose someone, talk about it, someone that inspires them.
A look at our Geico leaderboard. Padania De La Cruz will be in action later, as will Danny Drews, as Team De La Cruz and Team Drews will face off. Question is, who's going to pick up those other spots? Carstelow still trying to hang on to that 3rd position. She'll get another shot at the captain's chair. Not her favorite spot so far.
Right. I think Carson more just wants to worry about, you know, it's nice to be able to get on the court and worry about your game and not have to, you know, it's a lot of organization when they're captain. It's a lot of logistics.
Right. Right.
So if you're not one of those people, it's really not your thing, that aspect at least.
Fans, I'll tell you what should be your thing. You should be in the Unlimited Club. You can get the Unlimited Club code and enter that code to earn points inside of our app. Take out your phone. Enter that code now if you have the app. If you don't, go to the Apple app or Google Play Store. I know you got your phone right there. And start earning points to unlock exclusive rewards and stay in the know about Athletes Unlimited, not only for the next 3 weeks of volleyball season, softball, lacrosse, basketball. Stay with us and enjoy all that the brand has to offer.
All year, and turn that notification on your phone too, so you get dings here and there.
Set 2 is underway with an error, but it was 25-22 in set number 1. Team Valentin Anderson and Team Stivrins. Monica Stone into the net. Well, this looks like men's volleyball right now.
Here we go. Except we don't have, you know, 50-foot tosses and a huge jump serve approach happening.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say they have to miss 3 or 4 more in a row, then it will be just like it. Right now, it's just sort of an effigy of it. There's Sebelden killing the overpass. We saw Team Stivrins come out firing from the line and cause a lot of damage early in set 1. Valentin Anderson, the first aggressor here.
Yeah, and you know, as a middle blocker or any player at the net, that's a gift, you know. And Sebelden's just, hey, I'm gonna swoosh that right over, slam it down.
Valentin Anderson sticks a right arm underneath it. Stalzer throws it. Who will get heat on it first? I like Valentin's taking a snap. There's some steam, and you mentioned Leah Edmond and how different she is this year.
That's right. You know, Edmond coming in last season, she came, you know, straight from her championship season at Kentucky, and you know, I know as a college athlete, you know too, Kevin, that you're tired. You're at the end of your senior year, not only that with school and everything, and she played great last year, but this year she has kind of like a light about her, that she's light and airy and fresh, and I think it's just that post-collegiate career that she's wearing very well.
Valentin Anderson doing her best Morgan Hentz impression thus far here in the second set. Unfortunately, that ball finding its way into the left front, known as the Bermuda Triangle of passes. Even a second contact, if it goes there, if it's not a set, sometimes there's trouble.
Everybody's already back to hit, and they're like, you go, no, I go. No, I'm going to hit that ball. I'm not going to go there.
I'm perpetually waiting to transition. Blocking, who cares? Big swing there, blocked into the deep corner. Bastianelli gets one next to Fenoy. We saw almost an identical block earlier.
Exactly. Now those two together, I mean, look at Team Purple's front row right now, actually, with Edmond in there too. We've got a lot of size and a lot of threat up there. I'm thinking Stalzer, though, with that swing, she's just like, I'm letting out some frustration right now. I want to get in system. Let's get to playing Team Blue.
Or you get an ace issue.
Right.
5-2.
Lots of just, you know, passing problems, service aces, or, you know, or a bad pass is creating kind of a high ball game. And when we see an in-system set, which means there's a good pass, you're able to run your offense like we see now, and you're able to run the middle. That's what we want to see more of.
Fenoy blasts it, and it's dug. There's a little chicken wing. There's some middle for Bastianelli, who throws it down just in front of Libero. As we look at Lauren Stivrins, captain of Team Stivrins. Unfortunate to see that brace on the knee. We saw her tweak the ankle, but it's bad news to see the knee. And she's sitting next to Val Nickel, who's also out. Looking at the overhead cam here, followed the transition. That overpass mishandled. The overhead mishandled pass becomes an overpass. We're going to Calais Mao, who is going to check in with us here. And Calais.
Hey, aloha.
Your dad told us last night what a great soccer player you were. Way to just go out and prove it.
Yes, I think that's what I'm known for on my defense, just getting to balls with my feet.
Were you a high draft pick in warm-up practice in Europe?
I was, actually.
Warm-up, we play soccer all the time. Katie Carter said she can vouch for your skills.
Oh my gosh, Calais, I remember all the foot digs, all the throwing your body everywhere to get the ball up. Calais is like, and Calais, this is just like a yes or no question, I guess. Sorry, because I feel like I know Calais as a player. So, you know, Calais, when she's on and freaking hot, watch out. Like, run out of the gym. Everybody run out of the gym, because she's gonna kill you with her kill. She annihilates. I mean, she opens up and everyone's just saying to each other, just get her the ball and stay away from her. Just get her the ball and stay away from her.
Katie,
so if you agree or not.
It's awesome to hear your voice. I miss you, girl.
I know. It's been so long.
It has been.
Yeah.
I'm going to say hi to you after the game.
Perfect.
Calais, how have you dealt with the change in role? Playing last week, this week as a reserve and a back row sub.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm learning a lot from this perspective, and being out from the net. Playing back row, I'm like a defensive specialist right now, and I'm just kind of focusing on my pass and making sure that we can run an offense. So it's a good lesson, and I want to win this game so we can move on forward to the next week.
Yeah, where do you see the opportunity to show up or show out, in this case, to have your draft stock rise and get back into a starting lineup?
Really just take my role and just do what I need to do on the court when I'm given the opportunity. Just pass those balls, play some defense, and hype out my teammates. And, you know, that's what I'm here for. My energy is for everyone else to feed off of.
Thanks, Calais.
Thank
you.
See ya.
All right, check out Lei Mao on Spotify if you want to get into her music. as we get an opportunity to check out the Geico defensive play of the match. And hey, you knew at the moment it happened, this is what it was going to be.
And you can see here Calais just, throwing that leg out. And the way she gets up from this play is really impressive to me. She does like a baseball slide, almost like she's sliding into home base, flips over and hops right back up. That tells me that she's done that before.
At the end of the season, we will be awarding the Geico Defensive Player of the Year. This Athletes Unlimited award comes with an added $5,000 bonus for the winner. It was Nomaras Velez Agosto last year. So she took care of some bills, law school bills. And we want to thank Geico for their support of the league broadly, an official partner of Athletes Unlimited. Tip over the top, Karsta Lowe finally gets Valentin Anderson out of that rotation, but they still trail by 4.
Really smart play by Lowe. We see they're seeing that opening, seeing that Valentin Moyana is staying deep for the sharp angle hit that Karsta Lowe can very well hit, but going for that tip, very smart veteran move by her.
University of South Carolina's Taylor Bruns-Tegenruth finished 5th in assists last year. She serves. That's been her role as a serving sub, and it has been effective in the rotation this week.
And it's the San Bofi Bastianelli blocking game. I feel like we're seeing a little bit of back and forth with both of them going on little runs of blocks and things like that.
Another tough serve, ace serve, in fact, doing it all herself. Taylor Bruns-Tegenruth was married to fiance Anton, an electrical engineer and former volleyball player himself in Sweden over the summer. Back here with us for a second season of Athletes Unlimited. Deep corner, this time past overhand. Fallon past the block. Now Fallon Fanoy-Moana, I mentioned how quality her evening was last night. She put up a season high 335 points. Give you an idea of just how big that was for Fallon. She's already passed her week 1 output by 61 points coming into this match tonight.
Fallon is such a boss. I think that's the perfect word to describe Fallon. I actually coached her when she played club volleyball for Sunshine Volleyball Club out in California.
That?
Yeah. And then, went on to SC for a bit, out on the beach, saw her again on the beach, saw her overseas when I played in Poland and she played in Poland. And to see her go through these stages in her career, and now to be here, I really just have to describe her as boss. I'm going to actually call her that next time I see her.
When we say Katie Carter, there's another ace is issued there. When we say Katie Carter's a professional player, those of you that just did the math involved realize how long Katie Carter has been at the sport of volleyball as a pro.
Total compliment. I'm not old at all. I do not have gray hairs. None of that is happening with me.
Noted. Karsta Lowe trying to avoid some gray hairs on her side, and they've done it by a little bit of a run here. They trailed in this set by 4 moments ago. They are down by just 1 now. 8-7.
And if I'm Team Purple, I'm getting the ball to Fanoy-Moyana.
All right. Instead, it's Lickman who goes high the lines with a dig. But it's a block that saves it. Bastianelli, I think, got that one. But that's a big block. Ali Bastianelli next to Fallon Fanoy-Moana, who's used to going one-on-one on the beach.
And we've seen that a few times before. I'm not quite sure if Bastianelli and Fanoy-Moyana got a piece of it, maybe on the wrist or even through the net. But hey, if it's on the stat sheet, that means they got the credit for it. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think Fallon's going to get the credit there. She should. Let's check with the official score. Dig there for Lishman. Oh, that was a nice roll shot. That was crisp.
That was great. I don't think I've seen that yet from a Stalzer offensive bag of tricks. But Stalzer is another player. You're talking about years under your belt. We'll get into that one. She has got experience. She's played in a lot of different places, and I don't think she looks old. Do you? She doesn't play like it. She's the springiest one of them all, if you ask me.
Oh, she flies. Absolutely flies, Lindsay Stalzer. And has one of the largest, widest selections of gear ever. Played for 15 years on 20 teams. You have some gear at home.
Definitely in a Tupperware in your garage somewhere, like me.
Several.
What do you do with it?
Many. Eventually, you give it to Goodwill. I cleaned out my closet several times with USA Volleyball gear, and I still felt like I'd given nothing away. I looked in there and go, wow, there's still a ton.
Exactly. The overflow of it. Sambothi just going for that slide again. She's doing what she knows. Valentin Anderson is going to use her on that. Now that we see Anderson is front row, she's going to go to Sambothi when she can. It's working.
Sambothi's stock going up. Touch. Lishman with a dig. Sambothi in front. Won't be necessary as Valentin Anderson does it herself. The captain for the kill and now the lead.
And that's something that Valentin Anderson, excuse me, as an undersized setter, that's very difficult to see happening. And look how far off the net she is when she's doing that. So it's not your typical tight pass. The setter can't really set it, so they tip it. She's off the net, and she just shoots it over there. And it's actually, as a defender, very difficult to see because she's almost like camping out there with her height. She's not super tall, so you can't see it coming.
Right, she's in the forest.
Exactly, making a campfire.
Cassie Lickman cuts that one to the floor, and she will be bringing donuts to practice for whomever drafts her tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern with Key Michael. If you hit a ball and it doesn't touch the net, goes under or somewhere else, you owe some pastries. Way off the net, Fenona has to snap it, and she does just that. Fallon is excellent at using her height and length.
Exactly, and knowing when to go full on and unleash the boss woman on it, and let's see all your power, or just, hey, I know I'm long and I know I'm strong. I'm gonna snap it in.
You played both beach and indoor.
Right.
How did beach change your game to the indoor side?
100% made me a completely better player.
Okay.
And for me, and I think we're seeing this with Fallon Fenomoyana too, is the defense game. Getting the defensive game, number one, as a player of her size, I'm not as tall as Fallon, I'm at 6'2". She beats me by inches, but knowing how to move and then getting that hand contact on the ball, seeing those, using the angles, the cut shots. I mean, I'm not going to talk about my cut shot last year that I hope Kevin remembers, but stuff like that you can incorporate into your game that the normal volleyball player is too scared to try.
Yeah.
So being out on the beach and doing that over and over and over, it's just adding more value to your game.
We've seen Fallon add value to her side, and she's going to have to do it more here as the women in purple are down 1 here in this second set. They're leading early, and they are down 4 in the all-important overall. Remember, 40 points for each set and 60 points for the overall, available as team points, and those will be 60% of your total as Sibelden misses. Waiting for the touch. There was none, and we're tied at 12.
And I think Team Stivrins just needs to try to find a little bit more offense here if they can. Team Valentin Anderson, Natalia's trying to utilize the middles when she can. We just saw her go to Sibelden. They need to work on that and get that connection going. But their pin hitters are doing so well that they're ahead. But, Team Purple, if they incorporate just 1 or 2 more offensive players, they're going to pull ahead, I think.
That ball goes inside the block and down. The Lions with a sharp, powerful angle. I've been impressed with her heat and her range. I think the passing is where Maddie Lyons has some growth left for sure, early into her professional days. Edmond tips it. The Lions, pretty nasty collision there. Everyone looks like they're okay. Sibelden puts it down.
And Sibelden showing her value there, being big at the net, not letting any of those balls get past her. As we take a look here at this collision to see if everybody's okay. I think Valentin Anderson, she's one tough cookie. It doesn't even matter if something's wrong. She's going to keep going. Talk about a firecracker.
You're talking about a 5'6" international setter and Olympian. You don't get there without toughness.
Exactly.
Outside. The Lions, yes! Working off of Alicia Childress. And there is a fully approaching, in rhythm, Madison Valines.
And it's great to see, we're seeing the set from the angle from behind Valentin Anderson, and she pushes that ball just in the perfect spot to give the lines the option to swing on the line or use the block like she just did. And if, you know, most outside hitters know that you want to have that option every time. You see a lot of outside hitters constantly hit angle over and over again, and some of that is due to the fact that the ball is just not available to try to hit line.
Watch this set from Alicia Glass, Childress. Knowing that her outside hitter was scooped into the middle and down, she put it right over the top of her head.
Just throw it up. Perfectly, though.
Amazing.
Not a throw, but
Amazing.
perfect.
Tip misses, and Leona Sibelden, her frustration level is rising. You mentioned that oven. They might have had a can of Easy Off in there. Watch your eyebrows if that explodes.
Definitely. But I appreciate Valentin Anderson still trying her, you know, trying to get her confidence up, because she is going to need her at some point in the match.
There's another perfect connection to the left. This time it's to the lefty, Karsta Lowe. We had a perfect view of that shot there. Karsta now a couple of times last night, and in that swing there, you're starting to see the full low.
Yeah, definitely. We see the little wrist action, the little finish there with the wristy movement.
And so high. When Karsta is at maximal height, whew, it's unstoppable.
And she doesn't even she doesn't need to just swing all the way through and do a full powerful swing. That's the thing about her, is she has power and she's getting it so high. She stops her arm up there. She's hitting over the block, and she's hitting that end line of the court that's such a no man's land to play defense.
Alicia Childress has 3 aces already. Deja McClendon into pass. Got enough of it. Full lines. Yes. Oh, sorry. Stalzer. That is Stalzer from the atmosphere.
What a fantastic swing by Stalzer. I mean, she has that angle open, but to get it in the court, actually, the reason why she can get that sharp angle in the court is because she jumps so high. And she's contacting the ball at a high point. If you're trying to hit that angle at a low point, that's going wide for sure.
Working down the line the other way is Edmonds. So Leah Edmond continues her pretty steady offensive performance. Now, I think that's going to pop up 11 kills and be at 400 indeed on 25 attempts. Number 14 continues to be an offensive force as she gets a little consultation with Michelle Chapman-Smith. Fans, join us here at Fair Park Coliseum. Come watch us in person. Tickets are still available right now, 3-game and 5-game flex plans, because we have 3 more weeks of action to go, 3 nights, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, until we get to our last week. We'll go 3 straight days, but come and join us. Courtside is available. Get your tickets at auprosports.com/tickets. The venue looks terrific. The volleyball is top shelf. You're going to have a good time. Nice dig by Lowe. No transition to be had. Fallon. Little Statue of Liberty tip there.
I like that Statue of Liberty. We've seen it from Lowe too. And it's Fallon gets the ball so high that it's difficult to defend that. You know, she's definitely going over the block there. She goes up like she's going to swing on the ball, and that's the key there, is not going up like you're going to tip, going up hard, and then at the last second placing that ball over. Statue of Liberty, as Kevin would refer to it.
I'd like to see Fallon Fenelon her first day back on the beach. For sure she throws one of those out. It's like, whoops.
Hopefully her first day back isn't some sort of important money-winning tournament or something. It's just a practice.
It might be. She's going to be right back into it. Austin is the next weekend.
Exactly.
She's going to be trying to broad jump. All those problems you have when you go right back to the beach.
Oh, the serving, you know, serve toss, everything like that.
Throw it so far from yourself you can't possibly get there, yes.
Blocking. I have a funny story one time. So when I was playing on the AVP and then I was going back to indoor, I had a tryout to go play in Puerto Rico because they're like, well, you haven't played in like 2 years. Let's come see you. I'm in the tryout and I'm at the net, like we're just playing, and I pull off the net, like in beach volleyball when you know the ball's off the net on the other side and you're like, oh, I'm not going to block, I'm going to pull. I actually pulled off the net.
Into the back row?
Oh yeah, just like I'm going to dig this ball. And I just remember thinking, oh crap, and I turned to the coach and I was like, that will never happen again. I ended up not getting a contract, so I wonder if that's why, but yeah. It's ingrained in my head.
It's all worked out. Get social with us, will you? At AU Pro Sports, hashtag AUVB, hashtag Be Unlimited, hashtag the Key Cam, and tell her who you want to hear from or what you want to know. Lichtman, snap over the top. Key Cam says, can you find out which AU player has the best vertical jump, please? We can probably answer that from here. Number 29.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No one touches Lindsay Stalzer.
If Drews was here, I would say there's a fight there with the vertical. But
okay.
But we'll have Keith. We can get that found out.
I'm still going to take Stalzer just in raw vertical. I think if you want to go like the Dragon capsule and put it into space, just put it on top of Lindsay Stalzer and send it.
I'll remember that when Noelia asks me that question. Mom, how do I get into space? I'm going to call Lindsay Stalzer. we need a babysitter for the night. Take her to space.
We got you covered, kid. Edmund tries to power through Valines. Good pop-up. And it pays. 22-19, a push at just the right moment once again for Valentin Anderson as they open up a lead right around the 20 mark.
And I love how low there, didn't really have a transition, but she just she took a two-step approach, used her size, snapped the ball down.
Timeout called by Team Stivrins. At that 22-19 mark, they're on the verge of going down 2 sets. And in that overall, they're trailing by 6 right now. That becomes a pretty large hill to climb if you're down 6 or 10 heading into that 3rd set. Let's go down to that Key Cam. Hi, Key.
I'm here with Jelani. This is Calais' boyfriend. And first and foremost, you are an athlete. You're a football player. You play for the Patriots. Can you imagine this scoring system in football?
It'll be a little difficult for myself because I'm a defensive player, but it'd be pretty cool to see that. But it's different.
Like switching teams.
Yeah.
Every week. All right, you and I met actually because of Paige Tapp, who played last season. We met out in California at a party. Tell me how you and Calais met. I know it's a good story. I've already heard it.
So we met in Hawaii actually. She was performing. She was singing. And I actually popped in and heard her for the first time, and then afterwards we were able to talk, and since then it's just been.
What was his opening line?
It's been awesome.
What was his opening line?
Love at first music. Kevin wants to know what your opening line was. Did you have a line, or was it just sort of like?
Actually, she approached me and no, I just said hi. I just said hi, and then we just created a whole conversation about life and how she's a professional athlete and how we had that common interest. So it was awesome.
So she was like a siren. She sang you a song and you said, "That's it. That's the woman I want for the rest of my life."
Yeah.
I love that. Such a beautiful story.
Thank
well,
you.
awesome. Well, thanks so much for being on the broadcast and being in the stadium. And good luck to her. I know she's crushing it out there.
Yeah, she's doing great. Especially that nice kick.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah.
such a skill. Alrighty, back to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Key. Now he was enchanted, and you can be too. Leimau, Leimau on Spotify. Go check it out. She's doing quite well. So at this point, I'm a full-time musician and also playing volleyball.
With the ukulele too. I mean, she does it all, man. She travels with that thing.
All right, let's go into the action with Guaranteed Rate and Cassidy Lichtman.
Which motion's hurting you the worst?
Like jumping. Yeah. Like this is okay, but like stopping the jumping going up. Go! Hot! Cover! We were right here last night. We know we can do this, so let's just focus in one at a time. Get back in it. On the tape, leash. Watch the line. Mine. Come on. Hey, we can be better. We can be better. Like, I don't feel like the intensity we had last night, so we gotta like go.
Into the action with Guaranteed Rate. Cass Lichtman, one of the most articulate women you will meet ever. Certainly here at Athletes Unlimited, really embodies much of the great spirit of this league.
She does, and she really does it well. You know, she's so cool, calm, and collected.
Yes.
Just in life and when she plays, and I admire that about her.
Nice side out of the timeout for Team Stivrins and Cass Lichtman, wearing the number 8 in purple. They have a little bit of work to do here. They couldn't catch team, Valentin Anderson, at the end of the first set. Can they do it here in the second?
And I like to see that quick set to Edmond from Childress. Again, getting it closer to the line so she can have the chance to either swing line, tool the block, not solely have to just go for the angle.
Valentin Anderson got that right hand out. Here's Lowe again. Tough one. Did not get around the ball.
And one thing also that, about these outsides, utilizing the line, utilizing the tip over the block. Keep in mind that if the ball is dug, the person digging, is most likely the setter. So then that takes the setter out, and how are they going to transition that ball without their setter? So I love that play. I love going down the line, using the hands, all sorts of stuff on that part of the court.
Looking for the tie here, Team Stivrins. Stone. Good pass. Right side. Oh, nice reach by Valentin. A little change of pace. Normally throwing a fastball like Steven. That time it was the changeup.
Yep.
One time Madison Rigdon in college. Now Maddie Valines, married to Steven Valines, who is with the Texas Rangers organization. Down the line, dig by Valentin Anderson. Joust. Tough play for Sibelden.
What a beautiful dig by Valentin Anderson. Such a tough one to finish for the blockers. You can see here Edmond going for that line again, but Anderson just sitting on the line. She has her platform out. You can see she sticks the dig. She's holding that platform and admiring her dig, actually. I would do the same.
Yeah, there's a lot of tops cards being made here. Sambothe with the gooseneck. Now we have Valentin Anderson with the platform stuck out there.
If Sambothi's tops card is a gooseneck, I'm buying a full deck just of Sambothe.
That's awesome. Inside, winner. 24-22. Here we go. They have stretched it out just enough. Can they close it with an identical score? And what would be a very difficult 6-point lead over Team Stivrins. Edmond right side. Yes, tipped it just at the right moment. 24-23, second chance to close the second set. And an opportunity to tie for Team Stivrins here.
Let's see if Team Valentin Anderson can get a pass, run an in system.
Where should they go here? They have Lowe.
I think Stalzer.
Okay. Sambothe with a pass. How about Lowe? Hands got it, but it's out of play. Gave it everything she had. They get 1 point closer in the second, but it's still not enough for Team Stivrins. Another 40 points taken by Team Valentin Anderson. They have 18 points, and perhaps more importantly, they have a 5-point lead, 50-45, headed into our third and final set, which will determine the overall championship. Coming up right now, we'll hear from Key as she covers the Power of My Voice wall, women's wall.
There is a path that leads to a community where everyone is welcome, where respect, teamwork, and passion pave the way. A path where greatness is born and legends are made. But wherever your path may lead you, it is yours.
Athletes Unlimited Volleyball is sponsored by Guaranteed Rates.
Alrighty, it is Women's History Month, and we are here in front of the Power in My Voice wall of women. Some of our athletes have chosen who inspires them. And Erin, let me know, who inspires you?
I picked Anna Coop. She is an activist for feminism and education, and that is very dear to my heart, so that's why I picked her.
And you are also an inspiration to some players and women. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel awesome because I just feel like as a child I would always look up to people like me, and to be one of those people now it's eye-opening, and I hope I can inspire more and more people each day.
You're awesome.
Thanks.
I'm inspired by you. Erica, who inspires you?
Barbara Jordan definitely inspires me. She was the first African American in the Texas Senate. She fought for civil rights and human rights as well as that, and she was also a defender in the U.S. Constitution.
She sounds like an absolute legend.
She absolutely.
You're also an inspiration. Love that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Part of the mission of Athletes Unlimited is to develop athletes as civic leaders on and off the field and elevate them as role models for the next generation of athletes and fans. Kind of a continuation of what you and I were talking about earlier, Katie. It wasn't possible a couple of generations ago. Now people have to know it's possible.
Exactly, and talk about it. I think it's, that's also something a couple of generations ago. It was something, it was like frowned upon to just talk about.
Well, you're fragile. You're fragile. You can't overexert yourself, Katie.
Yeah, exactly. We have one job, and that's pop out 10 Noelias but it's really empowering for all these girls, like I've said before, to be in this league and to feel so supported. The mothers, the professionals in career as well. I mean, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that's going on that is translating into the spread of that celebration of women's history and creating those civic leaders as well.
Women's history and women's sports here through Athletes Unlimited. And you too can contribute and get in on the action. Be sure and get your AU Celebrating Women's History tee or crew neck today, designed by Katie Fisher. There's Key sporting it right now courtside. Celebrate the uniqueness and talent of Athletes Unlimited athletes and inspire all who wear it to be unlimited. Shirt features Taylor Cummings, Aliyah Andrews, Tiana Hawkins, and Ali Bastianelli. Items are also available now at shop.auprosports.com. There's Taylor Bruns, so buy yours today. And Deja McClendon. Saw lots of these pictures getting taken just before the match. Everyone enjoying the new gear and another wonderful night of women's empowerment and volleyball here in Dallas, Texas. We hope to see Val Nickel back on the floor soon. Setter for Team Stivrins. Got a ball right in the nose in match play, left shortly thereafter. We're hoping she returns for next week.
And she's a fighter. I know she'll be back, and any hitter is just so lucky to hit off of Val Nickel. I know I enjoyed it.
Take a look at our stats through two. Team Valentin Anderson rolling some advantages except for aces. It's been a lot of women in blue.
That's right, and we saw at the beginning of set one and set two that battle with behind the service line with aces, with the bad passes, not able to really run the offense like Valentin Anderson probably wants to. But the kills are somewhat equal. I think that we're going to see a little shift here if we can get those aces under control.
Carstelo adds to what is a team .330 hitting percentage entering this set. They have that lead. 50-45, so when they hit that 20-point mark, we'll keep an eye on that. They'll be looking to close in the overall. If the victory comes by 5 in this set for Team Stivrins, we could have the golden set.
Which I feel like you're manifesting, Kevin. I'm not sure, but if we've got it, I think you're ready.
I'm gonna speak it into existence, as my son would say. Stone with an ace. And never stopped running. Serve, running for defensive position, already had the ace, right back. A complete loop and +1 for her side.
Did Ronica play in Asia? Because I feel like she might have with all that running.
The Orange Blossom? Are you referring to the Orange Blossom celebration?
Yes.
Best in the world.
So in Asia, when you play there, when they celebrate, they don't do it like we do, where we all come in the court and you slap hands. They just run around the court.
Right. Everybody runs in circles.
Yep. I was the one standing in the court, waiting for the high fives, and everyone running around, and then someone saying, "You need to start running now."
They told you had to start running?
I think the translator actually was like, "You might want to start running with the team because it looks bad if you don't. You know, you need to show your support." Yeah, very interesting. But hey. Stay warm, right? Hey,
it's part of what you learn. You have to learn to adapt wherever you may be.
Yes.
Valentin is adapting to the defense against her and collecting another kill there. Update on Valentin Moana's numbers coming off that great night. She's continued that. Now 7 of 17, has not been blocked, has not hit out, and check that, it's 8. She's hitting 440.
And hey, I love the back row attack. I love that she's coming out of the back row here, and they're utilizing her there. And the more that Childress does that, it's having that extra attacker at all times. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that. I hope, because as an opposite myself, that was my #1 favorite, absolute favorite thing is to hit from the back row.
Another kill for Fallon. Well, she's not only going to need the stats, though, she's going to need team success. Already 80 points gone. We have 100 available in this set. There's 118 points available in every match. There are 100 points still available for that overall. They have to win by 5 or, well, 6, but 5 at least to go to a golden set here. And then hopefully win the set as well. So a lot of work to do here, because without those team points, it's hard to climb. Her individual stats have her maybe going higher than 12th where she sits coming in. But if your team is not victorious, it's trouble. And on the converse side, if you sweep somebody, that can really put you up.
Exactly. And I personally had that experience last year. I was pretty low on the leaderboard, I'm not going to lie. And the last 2 weeks, just being on a team that won and swept, it was insane. I mean, honestly, I was at home like, man, I'm not gonna leave with any money.
Bonus
I'm not on
money.
the leaderboard. And then you're at the end and you're like, whoa, like in a matter of 2 weeks, it's insane. So and it was all stuff out of my control. I mean, the team I was on, everything like that. So
you have some contribution there, practice.
You know, yeah, I'll take that.
5-6 and a stuff block for number 27. Everybody gets pumped when the small setter stuffs the ball.
I mean, who doesn't? And it's like a flying squirrel situation. Fallon is how many inches taller than
5'6"
Anderson?
and 6'5".
She doesn't even see her. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. 5'6" and 6'5". And it's that hitter mentality of like, oh, I can crush this ball because I have a small blocker, and then there they are.
Karsta dives under the tip that time. Stalzer goes back to that roll shot. Didn't work this one. Edmond, ripper.
And you can see Sambothi there just a little bit gas frustrated, and what she's saying is, man, I want to drop my inside hand to block that Leah Edmond kill that she just made. And what that means is her right hand, you know, if you think of a windshield wiper, how it goes back and forth, you don't want that to happen. You want that right hand to go in the court, take away that kill.
Just as that serve does for Leah Edmond.
Leah Edmond is on a mission. I mean, you can see it in her walk. I'm calling it right now.
Serious face?
Yes. The strut, everything.
Ace to error. So we're still even up at 6. That's not going to be enough for Team Stivrins. They need a 6-point victory to take the set and the match and 100 points. If they do win the set, but do not win the match, they will at least avoid the sweep and garner 40 points.
Right.
We've seen a lot of teams go 140. We have only seen one sweep thus far this year. Miss wide. 57-51. And another block. Sambothi alongside the lines. Sambothi gives a
Of course.
swat there.
Of course, and she's pumped that she kind of fixed the problem that happened the last time. She got that inside handed, and Valentin just helped her out. She set a great block there, allowed her to just come right to her, hip to hip.
Cassie Lickman with a nice swat there. Speaking of rising up the leaderboard, Cassie Lickman mentioned she had 11 kills, 15 digs, 316 points. That was a season high for her. last evening. But her side has been winning, and that's why she is number 10 on the Geico leaderboard coming into this match, and now at number 9. And that was kind of a breakout offensive match she'd been hoping for and hadn't had. She had really difficult offensive numbers, but we talked a lot last night about what she'd been doing in the intangible side for her side. You have a player who doesn't care about their stats and is constantly on a winning side, that matters.
Yep, it matters big time, for sure.
Edmond on the back row, one-on-one stuff. Sebelden. Leona used to do it inside Alaska Airlines Arena for the University of Washington. Played for 2 different coaches up there. Keegan Cook, her last coach. That ball's ripped a little bit high on Sambothi and into the cam.
I love it.
The key cam all over the place.
Fallon with that high snap down the line. It's going over the block, actually, and the fact that Sambothi put her hands up and touched it, that tells us, I don't know, was it in? Could it have been in? Maybe it was on the in line if she let that go.
There's Olympian Key Michael along the sideline. Another bad pass. Boy, the early parts of these sets have been rough for Team Valentin Anderson, ball reception-wise. And again, they pay here. Lickman with another kill, 10-9. You see that wrap back on Cass Lickman's lightly torn groin. Just a slight tear, she said. And yeah, that's.
But hey,
that's true.
With that lightly torn groin, I mean, look at that kill we just saw. Look at, you know, getting her feet there, taking great swings. She's moving quite well, I must say.
Trying to get back even, Team Stivrins. Overhead, low, blocked, covered. Cass Lickman, another small play. Row down the line, off the block, and a point.
And that's what I love about Carcelo is she's gonna go balls to the wall at all times. She has guts, man, and she's gonna swing, take big swings. She doesn't care if it hits the back scoreboard. She's gonna finish that rally with a swing. And you can see here she lures the touch.
13 kills, 460.
Amazing.
And always ready. We saw the match go away from her for a while last night when she was getting kills early, and then it came back and she was there to close it out.
Which I was almost wondering if that was kind of a tactic thing from Valentin Anderson. Just, hey, let's get her in, let's get the opposite in. Everyone knows she's here, and then let's go away from her, and then, oh, boom, I need her again. It's the end of the match. And you'll see that sometimes, definitely professionally, setters do that, is wait for the end of the match for that opposite.
The line's tough swing, shut down by Edmond. What's the key to getting that block in that situation?
Just lining up and timing. Definitely need to wait, make sure that they're set. You can see Edmond and Stone were definitely set and together. No seam in that block. Big weight, and Valine, she can't really see that block. That set was so high. Difficult swing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leona Sebelden is back on that swing.
And I feel like Sebelden's the type of player too, like she gets a great stuff block like we saw against Edmond. That lights her fire. That we're gonna see that translate into other things in the match and in her game. So it's just that working on, I think, the connection with Valentin Anderson a little bit better. You can kind of see that they've had some conversations here and there. So as soon as they connect, it'll be over. So hopefully they do that before the end of this match.
Looking for the touch, nothing called. That will keep Deja McClendon at the service line for a second attempt.
And if I'm Team Valentin Anderson, I want to get Team Stivrins into trouble here with our serve. You know, Team Stivrins kind of handed it to them earlier on, got them into trouble. So if I'm Valentin Anderson in the timeout, we're talking about serving tough. We're talking about getting Stivrins' team out of system, because when they're in system, man, they've got heavy hitters and they're all available.
Back row, Lickman right into the 3-woman block. Everybody closed in there. Excellent help.
Yep. And as a pin blocker, it's not an easy move to come in and help block, but that time they must have talked about it ahead of time with Sibelden and just got hands up and closed the block there. Lickman, I'm not sure if she saw all of those blockers. Tough swing.
Sibelden will pick up the block there and cause a timeout for Stivrins, 14-11. Let's go into the action with Guaranteed Rate and Liana Sibelden, who's making plays.
We're on tips here. Let's go. Lindsay, just hit it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Woo! I got tape and short here. I'm going to take a little step up. Do you want to? You might as well. You might as well. It's late enough. Slows it down either way.
Liana Sibelden, 99 points tonight, looking for more via a team victory. Still 100 points available in this third set. Women in blue, you heard her talk about tip coverage. That was a big issue back on Wednesday. They're cleaning that up.
And
fans, would you like more of a witty British woman in your life?
I know I would.
I think you would. You can also find out how these teams are drafted. Tune into the live Athletes Unlimited weekly draft hosted by the aforementioned Key Michael. You can see for yourself how it all gets done. There is the draft set up for tomorrow. Find out who gets drafted first, where your favorite players land, what color jersey they'll be wearing, and it can be done every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. For those of you that don't worship the East Coast, only on AU Pro Sports YouTube and Facebook. Who's your first pick?
Oh, of this match?
No, of this year.
Oh, this year. I'm going Drews.
Okay.
I'm going Drews. I'm sticking with her.
And you're going to make her play
I
outside.
have like an opposite crush on her.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
so now it's out, I guess. But just because she's one of those players, she's not this super gigantic, tall, in height player, but she's so athletic and springy and smart. And she does it all. I mean, she's not just taking rips. She's blocking and digging and serving, and those well-rounded players I really appreciate because it's hard to do, everybody. It's hard to be a well-rounded player. It's easy to be tall, and when you're tall and you do everything, that's like extra brownie points.
Are you at Tay Sand? Is that you or is it?
No.
Okay. We have some Katie Carter fans, I guess, checking in on Twitter.
Oh, well, I'm not a tweeter or a tweet. I'm not a tweeter.
We know you're not a twit. There we go. There is Drew. Drew, so amazing to see Katie Carter. Miss her so much. From France in Nantes.
Nantes.
Nantes?
No S. S
no
is
S?
silent.
Just a Nantes?
Yep, it's a lot
it's
of.
It's like Illinois. There's only one.
A lot of people want to say Nantes, but it's Nantes. You can tell my French really blossomed.
How is your French? Yeah.
It's terrible. But I was the captain, so I had to communicate with people off the court, and lessons didn't really do me good. So I just smile and speak Spanish if I need another language. That's just what comes out when my brain thinks other language, Spanish.
Yeah, you're immersed in a language if you start dreaming in that language.
Right.
That's the big one. Ace service once again. Stone continues her exceptional weekend of impact. For every ace during this year's Athletes Unlimited volleyball season, aspiration is planting 10 trees. Heading into tonight, that was 870. And already we have added, good gracious, 100 more. The funny thing is, 8 aces on 8 errors. Tremendous return on risk from the service line for the women in purple, Team Stivrins. Just 2 aces on the other side, but scoreboard 25-22, 25-23, and 15-13, all in favor of the women in blue. And 65-58 in that overall. We're creeping up on that 21-point mark when, bang, you have 60 points in the overall.
And I think we're going to see for Team Valentin Anderson a lot of Carcelo. Keep your eye on her right now. We previously did this set. Yeah, she's gonna close it, and she's pulling out the veteran card. I mean, middle blocker. We just saw earlier Stone serving, coming up to play defense. Well, tip in front of the middle blocker. No offense to middle blockers, but we've got that. Or Valentin Anderson has got that in their bag. It's low.
So keep an eye out for the 2 fingers on the left arm. We'll just call in the closer. Right now it's Stalzer overhead, a nice dig there. Here comes the closer. Blast still alive. Edmond again chiseling the block this time. And that off the delivery from Alicia Childress. And we hear Key has found Josh and the baby out in the crowd. There we go.
This is Alicia Childress' husband, Josh, and baby Amara, who we know well. She's been around.
Yes.
So Josh, you used to play basketball.
I did. I played basketball for about 15 years.
You guys met in... You don't want to hear the story about Mom and Daddy met? You guys met in the USA Gym.
We did. She was training there in the summer, obviously. I trained there when I was still playing, and we crossed paths a number of times, and finally we just connected.
And so you got the Karch Karai stamp of approval in the boyfriend department.
I guess so. Carson's a great guy, so yeah.
And is there discussion in the household as to whether or not the little ones are going to play basketball or volleyball?
No arguments yet. Mom also coached after playing, so she has that in her game. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting times. They're going to be beasts.
Yeah, and how good is it watching her play again? Because she retired. Those of you guys that don't know, Alicia went to the Olympics, got the bronze medal, came home, and just no volleyball, 3 babies in a row, and now she's back from retirement, which is so impressive.
Yeah, no, it's impressive. I mean, it's been 6 years, and I'm just excited for the girls to see her play. They never got a chance to see her play, but it's fun to watch her. I mean, she's out there competing as hard as she possibly can, and it's always good to see people passionate.
It is. Passion first and foremost.
For sure.
Well, I love that you're here and you're supporting her, and the babies are in the building. And it's all happening behind us. So Team Purple, let's go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, hon.
Oh, she didn't like that one, Key.
I think she was mad at Key that she didn't let her talk. She wanted to get in on the action.
She had a lot of words.
She was talking to us. No, I mean, I speak baby very well, and she was. What a precious.
Oh, it's all about the families too here for players, and that was, you expressed earlier the amount of support that you'd received. We've also heard that from several other players about that being a critical part of why they came back. Shayla Castro has expressed that as well.
Oh, definitely, because I mean, it literally is a game changer. I know in my situation, and I'm sure maybe Shayla, Alicia as well. You fully could not play again if your role was to be at home with those kids and you didn't have any support. And that was the thing, is either be a millionaire and afford a nanny to be with you full time to bring with you to go play, which many people do actually playing professionally overseas. They just pay somebody to come and live with them. We can talk to Taiba about that, because she did that when she played in Azerbaijan, which was amazing. Bringing a nanny with you, but Athletes Unlimited providing a nanny. Game changer.
Yeah, momming so hard, Alicia Glass, and right now playing at the center position so hard for the family. Let's look at some highlights today that have determined where we are in this match. For Team Stivrins, it's Leah Edmond.
And Leah Edmond here, you can see that she's given the ball 1-against-1 against Valentin Anderson. Ronica Stone is actually pulling that blocker away to allow the 1-against-1. And then you see here Alicia with the bump set. We said earlier she threw it up, but it happened to be a perfect set for Falafenoy Moyana. And then we go to Team Valentin Anderson with Taylor Sambothi doing what she does so well, going around behind the setter, running that slide attack. And she really can hit anywhere on the court. That time we see the deep corner kill.
Now Valines on the outside.
And Valines getting that dish from Valentin Anderson that's wide enough that she can use the block, swing line, swing anywhere.
16-17 timeout, Team Valentin Anderson here, as Team Stivrins has a slight advantage. And fans, you should join the Unlimited Club. It's just a fact. Joining the Unlimited Club will enable you to stay connected with the Athletes Unlimited brand all year long. 4 membership levels to choose from, starting at $0. There's something for everybody. Sign up today. Download the Athletes Unlimited app, available in Google Play or Apple App Stores. Go to auprosports.com for more information. And make sure you stay in touch with us for the next 3 weeks as this championship chase accelerates over the hump day next week. And on to the final 2 weeks, where we will have a second individual champion. What will happen in this one is the big question. Team Valentin Anderson looking for the overall. They creep closer. They are just 4 points away from those 60 points for the overall win, as they came in with a 50-45 lead and now are tied at 17 all behind the arm of Lindsay Stalzer, Kevin Barnett, alongside Key Michael and Katie Carter here in the booth.
And if I'm Natalia Valentin Anderson and I get a great pass with this rotation right now, you've got Carcelo in the back row. I'm running it to Sambothi if I can. Utilizing Sambothi when she can to rack up those points, and then if she needs to in transition, get the ball to low, get the ball to the outsides.
Morgan Hens with the dig there. Roll shot underneath it was low, outside, Valines, not yet. Sambothi with the pause. Powerful swing out of the back row, Leah Edmond. And somebody saw a little bit too much of that yesterday in warm-ups. Leah Edmond actually tagged Molly McCage in the head by accident, and Molly McCage is out for the weekend, so she will not be in our next match. Team Drew's taking on Team Dela Cruz, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
And I love the approach, the runway approach for hitting that back row attack like we just saw with Leah Edmond. It creates so much power and allows her to use that broad jump. That's why it's one of my favorite attacks, hitting from the back row. And when we say back row, we mean that white line that you see on the court. It's a 3-meter line, so they've got to jump behind that line, but they can land in front of the line. You'll see a lot of players land actually at the net because they broad jump so much.
That next match coming up at 8 Eastern. That will be on FS2. You're with us now with our worldwide audience. Shout out to everybody tuning in. You know, Nusara Tomcom coming up next, along with Shayla Castro. Nice deep shot. Continue to really love the offensive capabilities of Alliance.
Yeah, Valine, she showed us that she can do lots. You know, we've seen the tool off the block in the line. This time, she did a great job of getting her feet to the ball so well that she was able to contact it at that high point to be able to get it in that deep corner. That's what creates a deep corner attack. You got to contact it high.
Oh, and here's a high contact from Taylor Sambothi. Another tough serve. And now we're at 20. So this is for those 60 points right here. A match ball. And they'll start looking for the sweep. Oh, tough serve again. Deep corner. Lichtman, blind swing, chips it and gets it. 2019. So a second match ball with Fanonwana, who has been doing her own bit of damage from the service line.
And I love the finesse we just saw from Lichtman. Such a high set off the net. Most players would just try to swing as hard as they can. Lichtman with finesse gets the kill, gets the touch.
Low under it, Sabeldin cannot get enough of it. Ronica Stone wins that battle. We're tied at 20, still looking to close it out. It would have to be a run of 5 right here in order to tie it in the overall. It's 70-65 right now.
And do you think they're going to talk about that in the timeout right now?
No, you don't discuss it. I would not bring it up.
Definitely not. That's one way to ice your team, huh?
Yeah, I'm in favor of sort of the caveman opposite type thing.
Okay.
Me spike ball hard. That's pretty much where the end is. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
I don't care where anybody is. I don't care where my own team is. Just hit the heck out of it.
You know, there's something to be said about make sure you use your head when you play, but please don't think too much. And that's what that is you know, because when you start to think, especially in this league, about all the points and, hey, if we don't win this next play when they come out of this timeout, hey, we're going to win or lose the set. If you start to, those come into play, that's when the nerves and the mental stuff, and we've got different players of all backgrounds here that are, you know, experienced, not experienced, and you throw that in that pool of those players, and you never know what you're going to get. So I'm with you on that, Kevin.
Earlier we touched on Title IX and its importance. Let's hear from Cass Lickman on that topic.
I think since Title IX, the sport of volleyball has exploded. I mean, we are the biggest girls sport in high school, team sport in this country, the biggest or one of the biggest college sports for women in this country. There are a lot of scholarships available, which has allowed people like me to go to college and play. So it's booming, and I think it's only going to continue to as it gets more and more popular. And I think putting professional women on TV is part of that, and giving kids role models to see, okay, they're doing this, there's an actual pathway to the next level. So I'm excited to see it continue to grow, but we're already an incredibly major sport, and so I think it's really about the world recognizing now that we're this mainstream sport as well.
I think Cass Lickman certainly touched on it there. Volleyball is rising, and to my manner of thinking is definitely the premier sport for women to play. You see a lot of young female athletes choosing it over basketball in a lot of cases. I think this game is played well, and the women who are involved are aspirational on and off the court.
That's right, and to have Athletes Unlimited provide a league to allow these females to inspire, not only just play the sport that they love, but to be involved in so many different things off the court. It really makes these women not just think, hey, I need to be the caveman and I need to go out and just spike balls. I'm going to contribute in other ways because I have a voice and a platform.
Yeah, you can be more than that off the court. That's fine. But I appreciate a good cavewoman or caveman volleyball player.
I think I have some Viking in me, so I feel like we're a little bit related to that, so I get it.
That's right. I asked you how you survived overseas. You said, I'm a Viking. Oh, well, that's the end of that, obviously. Duh. That ball missed. Continuing to try and close out the overall here is Team Valentin Anderson. 4 away from a golden set. He's going to have to get done with Valentin Anderson at the line. Mention that pressure. Don't think, just serve.
But she is a boss, so it could happen.
That's right. Another dig, right up in the middle of the court, perfect. Lickman puts it away, the run continues.
And earlier in this match, we've seen that area of the court for Team Stivrins be a little bit of a weakness defensively. So to see that dig is huge from Edmond, and to transition it, Alicia Childress really giving a great fastball to Cass.
The lines reaches back and grabs it. And chips it wide. Oh my goodness, here they come. Now 2023, this run behind Valentin Anderson at the line has us 2 points from a Team Stivrins victory in the set and 2 points from a golden set.
Looking to Carcelo here if you're Valentin Anderson.
Says the tip to the lines. Played up, outside, Cass. All on the lines right now, dug by Hentz. Lickman, Valines puts it away, finally. A bit of relief and 60 points for Team Valentin Anderson.
And I'm pretty sure Team Valentin Anderson did talk about the golden set, and if we come out of this and we win this, we're winning the match, because the celebration on the bench just now and on the court says it all.
They end the run. Much to be decided in this set, though. 40 points still left. A sweep would have Team Valentin Anderson, everyone way up the leaderboard, and probably split up the team, actually, with several captains coming from the squad. Dump, picked up, but not played again. 24-21, set point for Team Stivrins, looking for those 40. Alicia Childress with the point there. So now it is Team Valentin Anderson that must rally.
And if they can get a good pass, they're in system, they're good to go. That's the first thing.
Carsa's on the left. Valines, high, over, corner, winner.
And Natalia Valentin Anderson, she's keeping it simple, right? Hey, who's my hot hitter? Who do I have ready to go? Her shoulder's ready. She's been successful. Let's get Valines the ball wherever she is on the court.
They stop that 5-0 run. They need a run of their own. Good serve by Valines. Edmond already has a career high in kills. Cass, dig, over. A lot of heat from low. One away from tying it up. Third chance to close it for Team Stivrins. I mean, do you just come over to cheat to the number 25 side in transition?
I think I would.
Yeah.
I've known to be a big cheater as a blocker. There's no harm in cheating.
All right, so.
Because then if you don't cheat and that person scores on you, then you kind of look like you're kind of a dummy, right? Because you're like, well, everyone knows that that's, you know, one of the top scorers. So if it's me, I cheat.
Timeout, Team Stivrins. Things I've learned in this match. Kevin Barnett alongside Katie Carter and Key Michael. I've learned that Katie Carter is a cheater. And
Definitely.
that Noelia, you got to watch your valuables.
Definitely. Definitely.
I think
runs in the family.
I think Salima Rockwell's still looking for her room keys from last year.
Oh yeah. You know, Noelia has a little wallet she keeps all her credit cards in, so there's a few Residence Inn keys in there. That must be where they come from.
24-23, Team Stivrins with the lead. Team Valentin Anderson has been on the roll here. They're trying to author a sweep in this one, and we are adding yet another chapter to the Book of Unlimited, which is a history of this league across all sports. This incredible tome, 25 pounds, 500 pages. It was crafted in Kyiv, Ukraine by a craftsman, a local craftsman who remains there, and we wonder whose name will be inscribed here. Jordan Larson in year 1. Who will it be in year 2? The league's roster and champion inscribed in that book at the end of every championship season. Monarchs Rose Blossom says, I don't know if I want to be a blocker against Karsta Lowe. Yeah, it's probably a bad spot to be.
Yeah, definitely not.
Next match, Team Drews taking on Team Delacruz. That's 8 Eastern over on FS2. You want to be there. That's 5 Pacific. Sometime in the afternoon in Hawaii.
Sometime.
I think it's 3 o'clock these days. Definitely tune in.
No daylight savings. You can keep track over there.
And then you got Arizona and Indiana. Who knows what's going on? I'll tell you what's going on right now is a little run. So if you're Team Stivrins, step 1 to winning this set via this point. What is it?
You got to get a good pass. You got to put the ball away. So it's more Alicia Childress. What are you going to do right now? We know what she'll do without a good pass. I mean, we know who she can go to, who she can kind of throw the ball up. Although when she throws the ball up, it still happens to be perfect. So I don't know if I should use that term anymore.
No, I think that bump set was deliberate. That was a beautiful play we showed earlier. Yeah.
But I think it's first focusing on that, and then getting the ball. They got to play defense after that. That's been the struggle. There's their weak holes in their defense. The deep corner, we'll say zone 1.
All right.
For everybody who's not sure where that is, it's the deep corner.
That serve went there.
Their weak point.
Edmond puts it away out of the timeout, and that'll do it in set 3. So the timeout helps. They avoid the sweep. Capturing 40 points with that swing, Team Stivrins. On the other side, Valentin Anderson plus 140 for their overall 73-70 win.
And we see here exactly what we spoke about. Get that good pass, get the ball, run your offense. And Aronica Stone here faking out the blockers, and then Edmond down the line like we've seen all match. Edmond had an outstanding match, very powerful attacker, loves to use the block, loves to go down the line. Really, this Team Stivrins, when they're in system, when we saw them in system, unstoppable. It was just a matter of digging the ball.
Leah Edmond finishes with a career-high 19 kills, hits 390 to lead her team to that victory in the third set. The overall, it's 15 kills from Karsta Lowe. She hits 390 as well. 12 kills from Madison Valines, who was trusted at the end by the captain, Valentin Anderson, quite a bit, hit 340. So a pretty balanced performance overall. Still not able to get the middles going there, but they finished the weekend with an overall victory, 140 points on their side. I think that's going to have them getting broken up.
Definitely. Good things get broken up in this league, that's for sure.
Yes, they do. If you win like this group of women did on the weekend, that's it. You're going to find yourselves on a unique franchise starting with the draft tomorrow, and it'll be a pursuit next week to continue their climb up the Geico leaderboard. And there it is, Lowe, Valentin, Anderson, and Valines all in those top spots. And we will see who can climb over the top of them. I'm betting Dane Drews can, but we'll see who else put their name on the list. And we have Maddie Valines right now joining us. Maddie, a lot of trust from your setter down the stretch. Were you calling for the ball hard in the end?
Absolutely. She was making me look like a star. Her sets are amazing. She can dish it from wherever.
And that just led me into my question, Maddie, is what is it like to play with a setter like Natalia Valentin Anderson? I'm not sure if you knew her before coming into Athletes Unlimited. Tell me about that.
I actually knew Nati, not directly, but she contacted me on Instagram to come play in Puerto Rico. At the time, I couldn't. But we were so happy to get the chance to play together now, and she is incredible. She makes me feel so confident on and off the court, and she's an amazing player.
Okay, so then that leads me to my next question. So then, now that you have this connection with Valentin Anderson, is Puerto Rico in the future for you? Are you guys going to be buddies, and she's going to put the good word in for you? And
Yeah, her team is full. Noma's team has an opening on outside, but again, I don't know. Her team is full. I would love to go play with her, but she's full.
Awesome.
Maddie, you're pretty aggressive on the outside, even in some off plays. Where does that come from? Have you always been that way?
I just want to go attack the ball, so if you put it up there, I'll go hit it. And I just get confidence from my other teammates, and they're like, go attack it, and I get so much confidence from them, I just go after every ball.
We know Steven's been tuning in. How's his volleyball knowledge overall? He keeps tweeting at us. We keep getting his opinion halfway through matches.
He's definitely learning. He's been with me since college, so I've taught him a bunch, and he's my #1 supporter, my #1 fan. I've seen him tweeting to you guys, and after the game, he's like, did you see my tweet? Did they play it? I'm like, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Madison, it was great to talk to you. Is there anything else that you want to say that you want to give even a shout out to, or just how you're feeling right now?
I want to shout out to Blue and to Nati. She made an amazing team this week, and I'm so sad to be leaving them, but on to the next week.
Yeah, you know it'll get broken up, but congratulations on a great weekend. We'll see where you land tomorrow with the draft.
Thank you.
All right, Madison Valines finishing out the afternoon and the weekend with a victory, 73-70 over Team Stivrins. We're going to be back on FS2, 8 p.m. Eastern. You want to tune in. Team Drews, Team Dela Cruz, Youth versus Olympic Experience. Kevin Barnett, Katie Carter, Key Michael, and our entire crew will be back. Last match of the weekend coming up next.